Ooh, live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is MC Scott coming live at you from Northampton, UK, England. Hope you're joining me. Welcome aboard. And if you're not live, I hope you're checking me out at some point later on. Now, let's see. It's half eight, the 21st of September, 2025. And this is a new start time, better than half 11 and better than half five. And I think better than half seven as well. Half eight, good time to do it. More family friendly time to broadcast. Now, what we're going to be doing, as per, is going over nextdoor.co.uk's platforms feed. Now, a couple of days ago, it was what was it? A couple of days ago, the 19th of September. That was Friday, wasn't it? And went through the page from 24 hours prior up to the current. Now I'm going back to where I left off, pretty much. Uh, uh, I finished off 2 days ago. I'm going to carry on from 2 days ago, and the idea is go through Nextdoor's feed, have a look, see what's occurring locally in Northampton. That's where we are. I'm in NN3 Northampton, and check out what's going on in local news on using that platform. Tell you what, a lot of pets. There are a lot of pets go missing and whatnot in Northampton, and thankfully they are being found. I mean, you see a lot of pets go missing. It's not nice when you see that, but or equally, it's nice because people are reporting, "Yay, cat, dog found," what have you, and that is nice. Well, that's the first mention I'm going to have today. Actually, it's Stephanie Jenkins from where was she? Sunnyside, and she's missing a small black and white Pekingese-looking dog, female dog. So it's a small black and white Pekingese-looking dog, a she dog, a female dog. And that's in the Sunnyside area. So if you've seen a small black and white dog, you'll know to contact Stephanie via Nextdoor and hopefully reunite them. Now, who else have we got? So, yeah, I'm going to be going through from there. So, we got Nina Franklin looking for slabs. She's prepared to buy them. And she's after some slabs. She didn't specify what sort of slabs, but if you do have slabs and you're in Northampton and you check out Nextdoor and see if you can have any for her to consider purchasing. And then we've got green footprints. They're gardening. You see, what I noticed the other day, plenty of people. Some people plug their business regular. Other people just don't, just every now and again. So first time I've seen green footprints gardening in Rye Hill. You see, I see posts on Nextdoor, and they're like, "Oh, I need a gardener. I need this. I need that," and they put out a post out asking for people to contact them. Equally, you see people advertising their wares, and first time I've come across green footprints in Rye Hill, but then there's other businesses out there, local businesses, and that's what we're out to support. Local businesses, local, and that's a charity I'm hoping to open. It's in the startup process, startup GoFundMe stage at the moment. Local in Northampton, local outreach, care and love in Northampton, local in Northampton, and yeah, I'll be manager of that, volunteer and paid manager of that charity, looking to get that set up and help using Nextdoor and other platforms. And this is the plan going forward. Sort of me going through Nextdoor, doing these sort of shows, raising awareness of local things, and then joining dots for people. So perhaps I might see, someone who needs slabs, and like Mina Franklin looking for slabs, and I might have seen someone who might have an offering of certain things, and then help join dots. And what I'd like to be able to do as well, and this is something I'm looking forward to doing and getting off the ground, is delivering from one point to another. So I'll give you an example of that. Things that people ask for, blankets, things like that. It's it's touching when you hear people, they're in need of blankets. Simple things, but can make a big impact to that individual if they're struggling and they need some blankets, and that can make all the difference. And what would be nice if local in Northampton sees that need, identifies where these items can be sourced, or hopefully has them in stock in a secure lockup, if you like, and then deliver using what I'd like to use is an electric trike, a cargo trike, you see, and go and pick it up and deliver it, joining at the dots, you see. And I think that's the way I'd like to approach things, joining at the dots in that sense, picking up, delivering, having some certain items in stock that have been kindly donated, or you see something going and you say, right, you approach that person and say, look, I can distribute these to people in need, and have that, and then see that need, deliver it, deliver it to them. And that's the sort of an outreach initiative that, to begin with, is gonna, I think, I'd like to be the bread and butter of the charity, joining up those kind of dots, and then in the future doing what I would like to be to consider the um, signature outreach initiative for local in Northampton would be a night rather, where there'll be a base, which I won't disclose where it'll be. Don't even know where it might be yet, but it'll be an area where I'll be, a mothership place where I'll be there, and then we'll have volunteers collecting homeless people, hopefully guiding them to that area, and then when they're there, they can stay there. They'll be in good company, safe, hopefully be able to provide them with some basic food and provisions, and then keep them there. And then the idea is that once we gather those people, try to have them homed, and then that will be the event over. Gather the people, get them in this little hub, and then have them homed. No small feat. Nice idea, isn't it? But no small feat. That's not some small undertaking. And I think people that would be involved with that probably have to be DAB checked if they're going to be helping vulnerable people, vulnerable adults. Who knows how old? I mean, hopefully there's not any really young homeless people in Northampton, but if there are, the people that are going to be reaching out to them, I would like to think would be DAB. They'll need to be DAB checked, wouldn't they? And then bring them over to that gathering point and get them homed, hopefully. And that, I think, would be a quantifiable project that that then in you can sort of, as the months go by, you can say, you can look back at that with data. You can say, you can qualify what you've done with actual data and say this, that, and the other pie chart, and that'll be a nice little um, signature project. But now that's quite a big initiative to do something like that, and that I would like to think would get local in Northampton sort of known, if you like. And then, but I think it's important to stress that local in Northampton won't be doing massive initiatives like that all the time. It's about joining these dots on a local level. Once that's done, and starting from NN3, working out, and let's hope in the future, local in, and obviously in Northampton here, local in Northampton, but local in could be a brand, if you like, a charity brand that could be a franchise that could pop up around the country. Local in Bedford, local in Wellingborough, local in Milton Keynes, local in, and then the world's your oyster. We could see how that progresses. So that's a slight insight into the ambition I have. And although like I say, that big signature project is a pretty, it's not a light thing to undertake, but that's something to look forward to, though, isn't it? Get a project like that going and get local in Northampton on the map. and then X amount of months down the line, you can say, well, this initiative helped X amount of people, and X amount percent of them got homed, and of them, such as maybe someone's found a job, and it'd be good. It'd be a legacy thing, a legacy thing. So yes, but in the meantime, local and little things like where I am, you got little community gardens. Lovely. I sat in ours just recently, actually, for the first time, and interacted with some of my neighbours that I've never met before. And nice little communal garden. I mean, I've known it's been there. I've lived where I am 10 years, over 10 years now. And to think it's the first time I've actually sat in that little area. There's others, plenty dotted around. Little uh, book loaning, a little book library cupboard, little things like that dotted about in these places. Um, Little things like that. Just small things that can make a difference to local communities. Having a secure storage area. Oh, now you see, you imagine local in Northampton has a little community cargo trike that can deliver aid. Like I've described, you see someone in need of this, and you know someone who's got that, and you can collect it, deliver it, provide receipts and what have you, of course, document everything, pick it up, take it over using the e-trike. But now that e-trike needs to get some, the cargo e-trike can't just be sitting around all the time. It needs to get used, doesn't it? And so having a stock of things that you can deliver when needed would be a nice little initiative, I think. And just delivering aid, as it comes up, you can think, right, hop on the e-trike, deliver this, that, the other. I think that's a great thing. Look forward to that. And then anyway, but let's go through that. So, but I'm you see, I do get excited about these things. But let's carry on with looking through Nextdoor feeds. Now, I'm not looking at the screens for the like I was at the desk, because I'm at the cockpit today. It's a Sunday, taking it easy, sitting on the couch, and I went through the feed like I went left off 2 days ago, carrying on from there, and I've just made a note of some of the things I'd like to mention today. So I needn't be, because I said this about Facebook. You want to. I like to go through chronological. I want things recent going down. I don't want to be looking at something from 10 minutes ago, then 4 days ago, then 1 day ago, then 3 weeks ago. I like to have things in chronological order. Sure enough, I thought, right, let's get the feed to 2 days ago, because I was thinking, oh, where is Stephanie Jenkins, who's lost her small black and white Pekingese looking dog, Sunnyside. I remembered that, yay. But I thought, right, let's have that up on the screen. Go back and look, and it's refreshed. It's gone back to. It's a bit frustrating, that. So I'm glad I got my notes. Now let's see. Looking for slabs. We've done that. We mentioned green footprints, Rye Hill gardening. Yes, very good. There's also rubbish collections available. Liam Dainty. He offers rubbish collections, single items to full loads. He'll do, which is always handy, isn't it? If you, let's see, John Ryan. He does, but now John Ryan, I mentioned him, didn't I, the other day? See, some people cropped up quite a bit. Painting. He also does painting. So if I hadn't mentioned that the other day, just to let you know, John Ryan, if you need painting doing, is a man to consider getting. Nabila Safi in Broadmead needs a GCSE tutor. I noticed a few people needing tutors. Yeah, no, why is it about this time of year? Is it something about this time of year that children are needing tutors? Are we coming up to exams or anything? Where are we? Well, anyway, maybe they'll be back at school. So maybe they come back to school from the holidays and they're thinking, okay, we need a bit. I'm struggling here, need a bit of help, and the parents have said, right, let's get a tutor in. And I wondered, do tutors, people that go around doing their tutoring, do they need DAB checks, CBD checks, or criminal checks? I was wondering that. I'm not sure. You'd think so, wouldn't you? You think they would, wouldn't you? So who we got? Luke Lannington, Lawton, Luke Lawton Foams of Queen's Park. What's it? I can't read my own handwriting. I'm writing right-handed now. 51 years a lefty. I'm now writing right-handed. What's it say? Broadmead. Oh yeah, Luke Lawton Foams of Queen's Park. Something bags checking. Oh yeah, scumbags checking car doors. Yeah, he caught some scumbags checking car doors on a camera, and we all know how prevalent crimes are nowadays. Again, you know, cars getting nicked and things, and people are always upset that the old bill don't seem to, you know, I mean, you know, they don't seem to look into these things. Like if your house gets burgled, you know, you don't get any police officer come round or things like that. It's terrible. But you see people checking car doors on their you know, just randomly checking to see if a car door's open or a van door, and if it is, they'll get it to mischief and try and nick it or nick the contents of said vehicle. It's terrible. This sort of stuff goes on. Crook locks. That's a simple deterrent, but it's a good one. Consider that, ladies and gentlemen, get one of these crook locks, because I can tell you a true story. I once had not the first time I've had a car and then been in a parked and had the same car, either, you know, near it or around it. It happened at a workplace I was at. A little yellow car I had, little yellow car, and there's an exact same one. Now, what stopped my car was the one that got nicked, and rather than the other. Why did they perhaps choose one? Well, I didn't have a crook lock on. If I'd have just spent 5 minutes putting the crook lock on that was sitting in the well of my car, if I'd have put that on, maybe my car hadn't got nicked that night. And so, a little bit of a deterrent. Maybe they try your door. Maybe you have forgotten the door. But if they see a crook lock, I think, I can't be bothered. I'll move on to the next one, and more opportunistic theft. Try not to make yourself a target. So if someone's going to rob a car, they'll try and rob one. Don't let it be yours. Get a crook lock. 20 quid, maybe 25 quid. Get a decent one, but just deter those thieves. If they look in your car and they see, and don't have things sitting out there when you do go into your home, you parked up. Don't think, oh, I'll be needing this and that in the car tomorrow, so I'll leave it there. Take it out. Take it out of sight, actually, is a key thing, because people, opportunistic thieves, just smash and grab, won't they? And you don't want that. So avoidance, if you can. Just spent a few minutes putting your crook lock on, taking things out of sight, and hopefully you won't be the victim of these scumbags. Now then, Ina is a local cleaner in Western Fable. I support cleaners; they're great. One of the best jobs I had was cleaning, actually, and I love that. That was when I was doing charity work, and I was the manager of a charity shop in Northampton, and I'd do cleaning as well. And I had a company car actually doing that. Go and pick up the team. Off we go to a school, clean the school. I'll drive them home, go home. Brilliant job, because what I found is it gave me an opportunity to think about all the things I wanted to think about in my manager job at the charity. And by the time I got home from cleaning, I was not only tired from having been at work all day and then doing my cleaning, I was tired. I'd done all my thinking about work and what have you. By the time I got home, I was tired, ready to just literally get home, eat, and go to bed. You know, done all my thinking, done. Brilliant. Love cleaning. So she's a local cleaner. Ina, local cleaner in Western Fable. Adam Proud. I mentioned him a lot the other day. I know that. He did I mention that anyway? Painting, yes, he does painting. So you're getting good plugs, aren't you, Adam? Eh? Matthew Earl Thorpelands. So I wrote down here Matthew Earl of Thorpelands, and then nothing else. So if you are watching, hi. I'm not sure why I jotted your name down here, mate, but you are. And this is where it would have been handy now, you see, to click to my Nextdoor news feed which has refreshed again and said, "Oh yeah, here it is. Just quickly confirm what it is." But unfortunately, I can't. I can't look back and rely on getting to exactly where I left off. But so sorry, Matthew. Maybe next time, mate. The Iron Lady. Oh, that rings a bell. The Iron Lady. Who could that be? Well, she's an iron lady, as in ironing. And she does comprehensive services, collection and drop off. So she'll come and collect and drop off your ironing for you and what have you. That's a great service. You've got to like your ironing, haven't you? If you're going to do something like that, you're not going to be someone that absolutely hates ironing, are you? And you're probably going to be really blooming good at ironing as well. I'm a bit too, yeah, I get a bit too involved. You like that, where yeah, I get a bit like one crease. You spend like 15 minutes on that crease. Well, I will get rid of that crease. I will get rid of that crease. There's no need. It's not really needed. By the time you put it on, no one's going to notice that wee crease that you're trying to spend 15 minutes trying. I get a bit too involved in the old. I try. Of course, I do. You can't. You try and speed up, but it's frustrating because you want to. Anyway, you know what I mean. But maybe you know what I mean. Some people like Ina. But no, some people like the Iron Lady. I don't think have that issue. They just get it done. It looks good. And anyway, ironing services. Yeah, she's got all her details on the nextdoor.co.uk, as all these businesses do. Go and check their profiles out. And if you need any of the services I'm mentioning, pop onto nextdoor.co.uk and have a look. Now, let's see. Oh, yeah. Now, yesterday was the 20th, wasn't it? Now, going back to 20th of September 1965, anyone know what happened that day? Not one of the best days in Northampton's history, I must say, but that's allegedly when the Great Fire of Northampton started. And Sue Jackson of Kingsley Park said, "Well, why isn't this mentioned?" She mentioned it, so I know about it. Having been the 20th, yeah, I didn't know that yesterday was an anniversary of a huge event like the Great Fire of Northampton back in 1965. But 1965, I was born in 1973. It was only 8 years before I was born. And when you think of things like Great Fires, I think back. I'm thinking it must be going back to like the Victorian age. Really, 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 really going back yonks and yonks. 1965 isn't that long ago. I mean, it's 1985 that Back to the Future came out. Quality film like that, 1985. Landmark. That's how I remember. That's how I 1985. I think to myself that is the year that that great film came out, and it sort of helps me what's before or after that. Well, obviously 1965 is before that. 20 years before that, Great Fire of Northampton. So why haven't we heard of that? Well, that's something I'd expect the Chronic and Echo to have perhaps mentioned, and I don't buy the Chronic and Echo. I do not buy the Chronic and Echo. Have you bought the Chronic and Echo recently? I look online now. I very rarely buy press anyway. I check out these things online now. So no, I haven't actually bought a newspaper in a long while. But they used to be very good, going back in the day for job hunting, flat hunting, buying and selling, great cinema listings, things like that. You go and get your Cron and have a look in that. It's all online now. I like to go online and do that sort of thing. But that is where I would have expected to perhaps see a mention of the Great Fire of Northampton. Was it mentioned in the Chronic and Echo? I think it should have been. Come on, journalists, if you didn't mention it, next year mention it, boys and girls. Now then, so that was a nice little comment from Sue Jackson from Kingsley Park, reminding me and now everyone that's watching about the Great Fire of Northampton. Tragedy. Well, it's been rebuilt. I have rebuilt Northampton since then, and it's just got bigger and bigger and bigger, isn't it? Now, where are we? Carol Hodgson of St David's praising Northampton General Hospital. Well, it is nice that Northampton General Hospital has had some praise. I've got praise for Northampton General Hospital. I'm very good at moaning. Don't get me wrong. I can moan as long as as good as the next man. But I've got very good praise for Northampton General Hospital. Not only did they save my life in 2014, for when I went into hospital with acute pancreatitis, and I remember getting wheeled in at night, 20 past 9 on on the day after a bank holiday, Monday, thank goodness. And that was rather fortunate because that might have been a benefit. The staff coming back from that bank holiday nice and fresh, 9:20 in the morning, boom, in I go, and they were ready to save me, thankfully. But yeah, from getting wheeled out of the door, just remember, people say that you sort of you see reality, and sort of reality's there, and you're sort of looking up at it, and there it is. That's a memory I had getting wheeled out the flat, and sort of there's reality up there. There it is. Got to stick with me. Stick with me. I'm going to stay there for now. And they'll say, breathe, breathe, and then you're breathing. Yeah, okay, carry on breathing. Next thing you know, wheeled 20 past 9, getting wheeled into the hospital. Come out 3 weeks later, and spent a couple of weeks in intensive care. I've got nothing but praise for Northampton Hospital. Absolutely superb care they gave me, and obviously saved my life because 3 times, definitely 3 times, I nearly went, and 3 times came back, thankfully. Blood transfusion, all the rest of it, and oh dear me. And then most recently, you see, now my most recent hospital experience is me having a hernia operation. I was given the opportunity to go private, and so I could have chosen to go to Northampton General Hospital for my hernia or a private, and I chose private, and got very good care. It really was. Now, would it have been the same if I'd have chosen to have it done at Northampton General Hospital? Well, the scenery would have been different. I'm sure the care would have been equally as outstanding as what I got at the private hospital I did recently, but that was very good care. I got the Three Shires Hospital in St Andrew's Hospital grounds, ever so good. And they got me in and out in a day. Fantastic. So I've got nothing but praise for the NHS, although I could, if I wanted to, pick bones with them. But no, on the whole, I like to praise our NHS. I think they do a grand job, and long may that continue. What have we got here now? We got Benny Brew, West Abington, moaning about bus services. Oh yes. Now, and funny enough, bus services 1 and 16 is pointed out. And let me just tell you something about Northampton and their transport, but their bus services. I think you can get pretty much anywhere you want to go by bus, and provided you haven't got to be anywhere on time, fantastic service. You can, you know, get to where you want to go. If you're not in any rush and you're not following a strict timetable, you can get to where you want to be. The minute you want to be anywhere on time, however, and then you think, right, I'm going to rely on the bus timetable here now. I'm going to rely, like I did when that morning I went to my operation. I went by bus, and I thought, if I get to the bus stop at such a point, I'll get such a bus. And so right now, during the day, when they do things like every 15 minutes, oh wow, did you see that, ladies? That was live action. That. Oh, Billy, are you all right, Billy? All right, we just had a. Okay, Bella the putty cat has jumped on top of the bird cage, and the bird cage has fallen over, and all hell has broken loose. Bella, you all right, Bella? Oh my God, Billy's out the cage. Oh, this is proper live action, isn't it, ladies? Billy's outside the cage. Bella got the flag of her life. Did you hear that? Did you hear that crash? Oh my God, Billy. Okay, back in a sec. I'm just got to try and set this. Right, everything. I'm going to stand up and do this. Back in a sec, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my word. Right, so if Billy's not in his cage, I don't have to worry about fanning about. Oh, just lift it. I heard glass break. Glass is broken. That's Bella jumping on top of the cage and it falling over. That's the first time that's happened since the cage has been there. Come on then, Billy boy. Where are you, mate? Oh, you're flying. No, don't fly yet. Let me catch you, Billy. Oh, you all right, Billy? Can you see the door? That's where you need to be, mate. There's a good boy. You need to be in your cage, mate. Yeah. So there we are. Come on, mate. That's it. Oh, oh, that's it. Oh no. Good boy. Ow, ow. Oh, ouch. Ow. You bit me. Yeah. You bit me, but I'll tell you what, that's a vast improvement on last time I ever tried to catch him. He's safe. Billy is safe. Okay, so Billy can't get eaten by Bella because he's back in his cage. The cage is now standing upright. I don't think Bella will jump on there and hurry again for a wee while. Whew, right, okay. All pets are alive. No pets have been harmed during the making of this program. Just a bit of tidying up to do. So now then, let's see. Oh yeah, moaning about bus services. Yes. So yeah, the minute you want to be anywhere on time is when things fall down. And so I was wanting to get to the hospital for 7:30, and the bus I wanted didn't turn up, and it was an well, I got there only 6 minutes late to the hospital, but me, I like to be at places like that early, and I wasn't impressed because it literally did not run as it should have done. And it's at that time in the morning that I expect them to run to the timetable. During the day, when it's like every 10 or 15 minutes, they're not guaranteeing anything. But at that time in the morning, they've had years and years and years and years and years to get their timings right and to know that if the bus is going to, that I find a bit frustrating. So the day I did want to rely on the bus services to get to the hospital on time, let me down. That was service 16. He's mentioned 1 and 16. Now, 1, I do see the service 1, but it's the 16 that I mainly use. And then, yeah, it is frustrating when you want to be somewhere on time and the bus don't turn up, and especially when you got an important thing. And when I often if you're pushing a wheelchair user, which is what I do, I'm a carer, and when I push Crystal around, and you got to sort of almost like allow another. So you got to allow a bit of time when you're travelling by buses, haven't you? And then you got to almost go for the bus before that, because if the bus comes along and there is another wheelchair user on the bus at that time, uh, that the bus driver would generally slow down. Sorry, can't let you on, and then off they go, and then you'd have to wait for the next one. I've never had that happen twice in a row, but it can happen. So if you are reliant on buses, you got to take these sort of things into account, and then if you combine that with them not running as they should, it's a bit frustrating. So yeah, so it's plenty to moan about bus services in Northampton. However, what I will say is you can pretty much get where you can do a lot of things on bus in Northampton. You can get where you want to go. You can if you buy yourself a day ticket and whatever, you can do lots of things on the buses. Just don't plan on getting anywhere necessarily on time because you have to be allow for that. So yeah, that's a good moan there. Well done, Benny Brew. I'm on board with you there, mate. Yes. So Stephen Simmons from Standon's Barn. Oh, dearie me. So yes, you do get missing cats and dogs on Nextdoor, and it is nice when you find they've been found and what have you. I know I've had this happen when I lived in Semelong. I lived in Semelong. We had 2 cats, a boy and a girl, Magic and Marbles, and yeah, we had a cat coming home. We had covered in oil. And that's what Stephen's saying. He had one of his cats come home in oil and another cat come home covered in plaster. And that's people doing that. That's more scumbags that exist in the world. If they're not trying car doors, you get the scumbags doing cruel things with animals and covering them oil and I mean, cats clean. They clean themselves. They lick themselves, don't they? They can you imagine a cat getting covered in oil? How frustrating that'll be for that cat and poisonous and terrible, 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 terrible. Who are these people doing these terrible things? I hope they learn that it's just awful, absolutely awful. But yeah, I've had that. He's in Stanton's barn and he's having his cats covered in oil and plaster and he's coming home to find that. And, that's not nice. It happened to me, instead, like I say, in Seminole. When you get a cat come home and, covered in oil, it was oil and it wasn't nice. Getting to them, there's only two more things. Well, Chris Mindray of Winstanley. Who knows where Winstanley is? Is that in Northampton? Is it? It might be one of these new areas I'm not familiar with. He's saying flags are flying proudly. Wonderful, good man. Good man. I like that. Now, there's a couple of flags around where I am, which is nice. I'm proud of that. I think it's great. Um, but of course, nowadays people take exception to British people flying their British flags, and this is terrible. Fly your flags proudly. That's what I say. Be proud to be British. If you're British, be proud of it. And if you're not British, but you live here and you're thankfully socializing into British ways, hopefully, and you're integrating, then don't begrudge other people. Don't begrudge British people being proud of where they're from. Because if they weren't proud of where they're from, there wouldn't be a country here to support you coming over here who isn't British. So be grateful for those people flying their British flags. So there's a British country for you to come and moan about. All right. So don't moan about it. Just be grateful. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, or those people who don't like having, and if you are British and you don't like your flag being flown, what's wrong with you? I ask. Why don't you like it being flown? If you don't like it, move. It's quite simple, really. Anyway, this isn't that kind of show. Definitely not. But no, it's good that people they should be freely allowed to fly their flags proudly. And then what else have we got? The last one for today on covering nextdoor.co.uk. Now, line C, line C, Lynn C needs covers, needs carers. There's a 65-year-old disabled lady needs all aspects and all needs care in all aspects of her daily living. And one thing, I'm not going to say being that kind of job, you can't say it's an easy job because there's a lot to it, and not everyone's going to be cut out to be a carer. But I can assure you, if you think you might be able to get into that, I can assure you it's a good, worthy thing to do, and you can get you can benefit yourself by helping other people. I believe that, and so consider that if you think change a career and you don't ever you're not trying to get rich because you won't be rich ever be rich being a carer, but consider that. Consider it's a worthy role. And you probably learn things about yourself doing that role, learn about other people in that role, learn a lot about life, the universe, and everything being a carer. So that's Lynn C of Boothville. Check her profile on nextdoor.co.uk and contact her and consider caring. So there we are. Been through my list. It's 9:10, so it's 40 minutes. And there was a tragedy midway through. Luckily, Billy's all right. He's in his cage. Did you see that happen? Because there's a thing. It fell down, didn't it? It's not there now. Yeah, that's live action for you, isn't it? Yeah. So is that everything then? Have I done everything for today now then? Is that everything, ladies and gentlemen? Hmm, that's all too quick, isn't it? So maybe that, yeah, if I want to press through things, that's the way to do it. Write a list and go through a list of posts. But I think now I've finished this. There'll be more things up there, won't there? Let's go up. Oh, where's my mouse? Everything's gone ping pong in it. Yeah, here's the mouse. The mouse fell down. Recent. That's what I always like to go, and it refreshed it. It did. It refreshed. I know. I knew it happened. It does. Oh, and the first thing I see from 6 minutes ago, I am looking for a kitten. Wow. Oh, does excuse me. Does someone know anyone who's selling or where I can find it? Thanks. Excuse me. Hmm. Well, if you're looking for a kitten, I suggest one thing, viewers, and that is make sure you see the kitten with its mum and that you know if the mum and the kitten are okay and the litter's okay and that everything appears in order, that's a really good indication that things will be okay. And if you don't have an opportunity to see mother and kitten together, do not buy because that's it could be potential problems down the line. You want to go to a reputable dealer, Homer or whatever, and you want to make sure you see the mother with the kitten, and that way you'll know you're in. You know, think that kitten got off to the best start because otherwise there will be possible problems down the line. That's what I will say about buying any kittens or in fact, any animal. If you're going to buy a dog, if you're going to buy a puppy, you want to see the puppy with its mum. If you know the puppy and mum are all right, you know you've got a good indication things are started off okay, and you're in the best stead then, aren't you, going forward? Um, Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Well, there we are. For the sake of not going on and on and on and on and on, I hope I hope you get a bit of an insight into what's going on in Northampton via nextdoor.co.uk, and we'll round up today's show by saying goodbye. End stream. End stream. Right, your stream will stop immediately, and you will no longer be live. Well, that's what I'm looking to do. Yeah.